Hello everyone, we're back to remake this video as our celebration for our 100 subscriber special. Side note, thank you everyone so much for subscribing, I appreciate it so much. But, let's not get too sappy, right? We've still got a spooky to do, so let's go ahead and enter this in. Now, I've got a little notepad on my second screen here that'll tell me what each password is, so if you're playing this along with me, just enter in the same passwords and you should be fine. So enter this. This is the first password when you boot up the application. Toss that in there.
Fazebear, Entertainment Security Archive.
That is a lot louder than I thought it would be. I might have to turn... Hopefully the editor will turn that down. But open that brother up. The first one, we don't need a password. Let's go ahead and open it on up. Hit space to skip typing. First, we'll look at this little picture over here. It's pretty cool. Looks like Springtrap got fucking folded. Is this a bow tie? I mean, it would make sense. The, what is it? Fredbear's Family Diner, where the Springtrap origin of Spring Bonnie came from, would probably have a bow tie on him. Considering Fredbear did as well. It'd be a little awkward to have for one of them to have one and the other one not to. So that makes sense. It also is purple, which just kind of lines up. Anyway. Oh, that's not me breathing. That is in fact not me breathing. Oh, and they're gone now. Okay, cool. Okay, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to skip this part. And I'm going to go for like the middle section here. Because there's a lot of reading. And most of this probably won't make it in the full video. Anyway. Hey dude, how are ya? Thanks again for taking the night shift. I know that place can get pretty spooky. Oh, by the way, we finally figured out a name for our little monster. We're calling him Springtrap. Pretty cool, right? Took like 2 seconds to make the name, but it's fitting, don't you think? Anyway, about what you said in your last email, thanks for letting us know. If you can, could you get some footage of him walking around? We were thinking we could set up some screens around the attraction and fool people into thinking that Springtrap is like coming towards them. Help raise a spook factor, you know? Anyway, you have nothing to be worried about. You and I are the only ones with the keys to the place, so there's no way he's getting out. We're still setting the place up, so there are a lot of loose wires hanging around, and Springtrap's quite broken looking himself, so could you make sure he doesn't go damaging any of the equipment? It's like I told you the other day, fire is a real concern here, so we gotta be careful. You don't have any idea how to stop our little monster. One of the tech guys said that those animatronics would go to the room with the most noise. Yeah. Alright, and then from here, we go into actually getting in passwords. This one, we just put this in here. Put that off in there. Hit space to skip typing. Okay, and we get reading. On the 13th of September 2026, a team of 3 independent filmmakers were reported missing in Hurricane, Utah, after a week's absence from their college classes. Shortly after, the city police department launched an investigation to locate the missing students. At the time of their disappearance, Courtney, Kevin, and Edward were all working on an assignment based upon investigating and providing validity to the many myths and urban legends of the state of Utah, with a particular interest in the urban legend known as the Utah Hairman, with Kevin's final journal entry stating their intent to film a documentary in the sewer systems of Hurricane in search for the Hairman. Their bodies have yet to be recovered. Descriptions of the Utah Hairman match that of him. 6 weeks after the initial incident, a sewer maintenance worker assigned to unblock a drainage pipe recovered a severed hand. DNA analysis of the hand revealed the hand was that of Courtney. It can only be assumed that all 3 missing persons are dead. The maintenance worker also located a heavily damaged disposable camera belonging to Kevin. Though the photographs were difficult to recover, through state-of-the-art data recovery methods, one image was restored. And that image shows them getting absolutely fucking bodied. Which means they're probably toast. They're probably Jover. Anyway, I've got a little lovely audio down here that says RHNRNHY-01, so I'm gonna shut the hell up and I'm gonna let this play.
It's him. He survived the fire and has been out there all this time, hunting, claiming more souls and destroying more lives. I should have known it was him as soon as I heard about this Utah Hairman thing. People say those boys were lost to the storm, but they're wrong. I'm one of the only people, maybe the only person, who bears the curse of knowing the truth. The man who found the hand said that the only way it could have gotten there is if somebody placed it there, deliberately. And he's right. He is taunting me. Even after so long, he knows I'm watching. I need to stop him. I know where he is. And he doesn't have the backing he used to. I have the advantage. I missed my opportunity back in '85. I'm not missing it again. It's him.
Oh, wait, hang on. Oh boy. Oh, what the hell are you? Wait, hang on. I have a hunch to who this could be, but we're gonna read this. Okay, here we go. A large, disfigured entity was spotted within a scrapyard. The witnesses reported the sighting to the police on the blank of 2026. The witnesses saw the figure scraping around piles of discarded machinery, specifically gathering what seemed to be old knives, scrap sheets of metal, and other various metallic objects. The individual that reported the creature was close enough to give minor details of what it had looked like. It described that it appeared to consist of rusty wires and a loosely put together outer casing, using lots of broken items and junk for bulking on the arms and torso. Its head looked similar to a bear. It appeared to have an arm on both sides of its torso, along with two more attached to the back of the creature. One resembled the front end of an excavator, funny, but with sharp rusty spikes on it. The other appendage was hidden behind the creature, so I don't know what was on it. The person stated that the collection of parts convulsed and started writhing at random moments, specifically when looking directly at lights. It also emitted horrendous scraping and squeaking noises as it moved around. The witness didn't see the bottom half of the creature behind the piles of rubbish. The person that reported the entity managed to go undetected by the creature, leaving us clueless as to whether or not it is hostile. And an update. A new sighting of what is supposedly the same creature has been reported in Utah. The witness in question was able to give a slightly more detailed report as he was attacked by the creature. It was big, humongous even. I was looking for parts that could be used in a project I was working on. My college made an assignment to make a piece of art out of junk. Made out of junk. Oh yeah, back to the point. I was looking for parts when I found this strange pile of junk poking out of a junk heap. Like a bunch of items wrapped in chains, kitchen utensils, gears. Some of it was just bent pieces of metal. There were even parts of a small doll inside it. I reached out and tried to pull it. There was a screech, and then the junk heap began to move. What I thought was just another trash pile turned out to be the back of that thing. It turned around, and I was staring into the eyes of a metal face that could only be described as something straight out of a horror film. We continue. Go here. Type this in. Okay, this one isn't too bad. First, let's take a look at the picture. Actually, well, yeah. Anyway, here we go. Sunday, the 8th of September, 2026. At 2:47 a.m., a break-in occurred at Fazebear Entertainment's main storage warehouse in Nevada. Upon investigation, all security and cleaning staff were either missing or deceased. All recovered bodies showed sign of extended exposure upwards of 25,000 volts of electricity, with their bodies being charred and burned beyond recognition. When the inspection team first arrived at the complex, the entire storage site had experienced a power outage. The inspection team later found that the on-site generator had been punctured in 5 different spots and experienced an overcharge that caused the said blackout. Further investigations showed that both Unit C4-AE, showed that storage unit C4-AE had been broken into and decommissioned animatronic model SG-3 Stargaze Ballora and pieces from the decommissioned animatronic model SG-2 Stargaze Foxy were missing. Remnant trackers detected signatures matching both subjects A2 Funtime Foxy and A4-A Ballora on site. It is believed that subjects A2 and A4-A have separated from the remnant amalgamation that escaped Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental and broke into the warehouse to obtain a new body to inhabit. Curiously, at the same time of the incident, an unknown third party corrupted all the security footage. The only remaining intact content inside the folder where the CCTV recordings were kept was a text folder containing the one word LOL. The leading theory is that during the break-in, the warehouse security systems were subjected to a cyber attack, and internal investigations were launched. No, Jesus Christ. Internal investigations launched multiple server-wide scans for viruses and signs of sabotage from all sides of Fazebear Entertainment's secure network, but all results were null. It is still unknown who or what was behind the cyber attack and whether it is connected to the break-in in any way. And at the bottom, if you haven't seen that by now, the little bit of glowing text here, well, glowing, flickering more likely, it says, "I was just giving a friend a little helping hand," from someone named L. Now see, that L and that lol make me think lolbit. Okay. This document is the archived recordings of testing logs on Lefty Unit 002, codenamed Lefty. The unit is a repurposed model, Generation Blank, Unit ID SG-1, also known as Stargaze Freddy. The insides of the unit were remade to allow the capture and delivery of Marinette Unit 001, which has gone rogue since Blank. The test was used to see if unit involved was able to walk a distance of blank miles without incident and retrieve a doll made to behave and resemble the marionette would be referred to as the target. Results: the unit was able to capture the target without incident, but on the way back to the base, the target was able to escape by ripping off the unit's head from the inside and crawl out. Test failed. Notes: reinforce the head and make the limb hole smaller. You never know what the real target may try to do and escape. Well, may do to try and escape. Okay. Same as previous tests. The unit was able, same test before, is to retrieve the doll and return. Was able to capture the. Oh, Jesus Christ! The target. Oh my God! The unit was able to capture the target without incident and return to base. Once the unit shut down, it released its grip on the target and unlocked its containment hatch, allowing the target to escape. Test failed. Notes: have programmers add a new piece of code which locks all systems upon shutdown. You don't want this to happen again. It's important that the target remain captured and incapacitated. Same test as before. The unit was able to capture the target without incident and return to base. No further events transpired. Test successful. Notes: prepare unit for send off. It's ready to fulfill its purpose. So, as it says in the reading, this is the testing that Lefty went through to capture Puppet, and we see in Pizzeria Simulator that he does in fact capture Puppet. Okay, now we do this one, and this is going to be one of the hardest ones to type because it's literally just slamming your fucking head on the keyboard. Now then, you can read along with me, or you can stare at whatever the fuck this is on the right here. Anyway, on July the 3rd, 1999, retired Fazebear Entertainment superformer Mark was admitted to a psychiatric hospital after being discovered in his home in a state of psychosis, repeating the phrases, "I wore the suit, I wore the skin of death, can't say his name, I see him everywhere," and "no lights. If there are lights, there are shadows." Upon arrival at the hospital, Mark underwent multiple psychiatric evaluations, with the verdict being that Mark was suffering from significant schizophrenia and psychosis. During the assessments, Mark kept mentioning a figure that only he could see, describing it as a tall, looming black rabbit made of pure blackness. Funny. When asked what the figure's name was, Mark would begin to violently scream in sheer panic and terror, with one occasion leading Mark to urinate himself out of pure fear. Yikes. That's not one that they should have written about. I'm not gonna lie to you. That man's entire social credit gone, but he's also in a hospital, so who cares? During Mark's time employed with Fazebear Entertainment, he was one of the primary suit performers and entertainers tasked with operating the same spring bonnie suit used by, I'm gonna guess, William Afton during his time with the company, and the suit that William Afton used to kill or murder in 1995. Mark lived in the psychiatric hospital for 5 years until his sudden death in 2004. Post-mortem on the body could not find a reason for Mark's death and has been labeled unknown. Under normal circumstances, Feza would not document these events, but the sheer volume of consequences with real-world events is too much to chalk up to simply chance. Mark stated he was, quote, wearing the skin of death, connecting to him once performing the suit worn by William Afton during the incident in 1995, or that the time span Mark spent at the hospital until his ultimate demise is the same amount of time he spent working for Fazebear Entertainment, down to the same number of days. The most significant connection made, however, is the description of the figure made by Mark fits the description of a famous legend spread amongst the late-hour workers of multiple Fazebear pizza locations over the decades. Jesus, gotta take a quick breath. Describing a shadowy phantom resembling the Bonnie animatronic that they would see very often during the dark hours. Over time, the staff began to refer to this phenomenon as Shadow Bonnie. Further investigation needed. Well, the guy's kind of dead. I don't know if you're going to get much investigation out of that. Okay. Now then, gotta bring back this thing up so I can know what the hell I'm typing here. Alright, cool. Now then, we go here, and we type in this. Put that in there. There we go. Following a string of unfortunate events and unsuccessful court battles spanning over several years, popular children's restaurant and longtime competitor of Fazebear Entertainment, Candy's Burgers and Fries, was purchased by Fazebear Entertainment on the 13th of May. 1989 for $20 million. At the time of the purchase, Robotics Corp, that's a funny name, owner of Candy's Burgers and Fries, was in severe financial trouble and was facing thousands of dollars worth of debt. This purchase only a few months following the acquisition of Blank, another popular competitor in the business of animatronic entertainment. Fazebear Entertainment took it upon themselves to purchase the long-loved fast food chain in hopes of saving its beloved characters. Currently, all Robotics Corp assets purchased by Fazebear Entertainment are being stored in their main storage warehouse in Nevada. That's probably not doing too good until further notice. Quote, we know what it's like to be in Candy's shoes, and we've both had our fair share of financial struggles and controversy. We know their pain. Though Fazebear Entertainment and Robotics Corp have been longtime rivals, we both prioritize the memories made by the children who come to our establishments over everything else. And we will not let these beloved characters who've made impacts on so many lives of children all across Blank fall into obscurity. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Candy isn't done with you yet. That is not a very good sentence to leave it off with, let me tell you. They probably did not keep their job after that. That spokesperson probably is not employed to this day. Alright. Cloaked figure. This one's just a number code. That's my bad. I accidentally hit the pause button. You didn't miss much, though, I promise, because the pause button is the slash you saw just at the last second, so I just opened the fucking thing. Anyway. Yeah. Sounds like Stitch Wraith from just giving it a glance. Anyway. Multiple reports, varying from minor to major, note a skeletal creature draped in scraps and adorning a crimson-lined mask. It is unknown as to how or if it connects to Fazebear Entertainment, an oddly popular entity compared to many others. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm so sorry. Apparently reading makes me fall asleep. Anyway. An oddly popular entity compared to many others, with whole websites dedicated to documenting every tale it is said to be involved in. As such, exaggeration reigns supreme. Most accounts have evident explanations, aside from a few notable exceptions. For our purposes, the most notable instance involves a video taken by a soon-to-be retired security system located in blank between 2 and 3 in the morning, compared to blank in many aspects. If this is true, skeletal creature entered. I'm gonna assume that says entered. I can't type. Oh my god. Here we go. Due to the decline of Fazebear Entertainment restaurants and attractions, we have decided to take the offer given to us by the Blank Company and have officially started the Fazebear Worldwide Initiative, FWI. This project will resume production of animatronics units from past generations that have long since gone out of use. With the start of the FWI, we also have started the Fazebear Funtime service, along with a variety of other purchasable services, which will allow customers to order characters from Fazebear's past from certain generations to personally entertain them. For example, the Fazebear Funtime service will have the selected characters be packed up and shipped to the customer's house, and will do a variety of one-man shows for the customer or larger shows if the customer orders more than one animatronic. At the end of the show, the customer will be charged a fee based on the age/generation of the animatronic chosen, the amount of said animatronics, and how long it takes the animatronics to arrive to the home. Any remaining animatronics not being used for the FWI will be put up for auction for other companies and smaller Fazebear restaurants to buy. Note, this message is to be sent to all remaining Fazebear restaurants, warehouses, and factories. We also need to make sure to announce this in the media as well, to gain attention from former customers and fans of the Fazebear brand. Make sure not to mention the amount of fees or how the fees of a delivery is determined. Personal notes. We need to keep track of which characters are produced and which ones are active entities. We don't want to blank all over again, just because we confused a malfunctioning unit with an entity. Oh. Did anyone else see that? Did anyone else see that? I feel like someone else had to have seen that. Oh, this is a lot of reading. Alright, well, get comfortable, everybody. Wait, what is that, though? It's not coming from outside of... That's not coming from me. That is the game itself. Well, technically, quote-unquote game. Alright, well, you guys go ahead and stare at this or read along with me. Either way, on the morning of the 24th of December 2026, the bodies of Police Sergeant Gerald, Lieutenants Harry, Simon, and Deputy Bradley were discovered at the Laurel Police Department in Laurel, Montana. After being snowed in for several days, following an incredibly brutal week-long blizzard. Post-mortem on the bodies revealed heavy blunt force trauma to the victims' skulls and chests, with severe lacerations across the victim's torso and limbs. Simon's corpse in the police department's ventilation system completely skinned. The recovery team found their shredded, degloved skin in the garage alongside Bradley's remains, with them sustaining damage matching the former described. Gerald and Harry's bodies were located beside the emergency exit, and within a toilet cubicle, respectively. Among the staff trapped within the police department on the night of the incident, Deputy Raymond was one. Miraculously, they found lying face down in the snow 50 meters away from the station, alive. On their discovery, they were immediately rushed to the Billings Clinic Hospital and were in care for 2 weeks, showing extreme hypothermia and frostbite symptoms. Once they were in a stable condition, police officers interrogated Raymond. He described a large metallic mass of wires wearing one of his colleagues' skins as a disguise and murdering his co-workers. Once Raymond was fit and healthy enough to be admitted from the hospital, he was immediately put on trial for the first-degree murder of Gerald, Simon, Harry, and Bradley. He was later stated unfit to stand trial and was admitted to mental institute for several years under the diagnosis of psychosis until his eventual transfer to another psychiatric hospital in Utah, where he later lost his life. Upon investigating Raymond's claims, Fazebear Entertainment launched a covert investigation on the police department station. On review, the analysis team discovered that subjects A2 Funtime Foxy, A3-A and A3-B Funtime Freddy and Bonbon respectively, as well as subjects A4-A, A4-B, A4-C, and A4-D. Ballora and Mini Rena's remnant signatures were detected within and around the building. The leading theory is that following the breach at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, the remnant amalgamation consisting of the aforementioned animatronic nexuses traveled north towards Montana, where they were caught within a blizzard. Seeking shelter, they took refuge within the police department's ventilation system until they were eventually discovered by Simon. Following their discovery, the remnant amalgamation killed and skinned Simon, wearing their skin as a disguise, akin to the method they used to escape circus babies. Eventually, the other officers caught on to what was occurring, and the remnant amalgamation slaughtered them, with Raymond being the sole survivor. Further investigation into the location and recovery of remnant amalgamation needed. Okay, and here's how Raymond describes it. The blizzard came out of nowhere. It was all so sudden. We were told by the people over in Billings that they would send people over to remove the 6 feet of snow blocking us on Thursday. And by Thursday, we would simply have to hold out till then. I guess the blizzard had complicated things for everyone. The first 2 nights were fine. We all slept on the sofas in the staff room and just lived off the vending machines. But it was on the 3rd night where things were strange. Jesus Christ. It was on the 3rd night where strange things started to happen. Why is it worded like that? Stuff might mysteriously disappear and reappear in other places. We'd hear this metallic. Oh my! I'm gonna actually slam my head against the wall. We'd hear this metallic banging sound coming from somewhere in the building, but we could never pin down exactly where. I remember it irked the hell out of Simon. The guy went on several searches trying to find where the sound was coming from. He never had any luck. Sarge just chucked the sounds up to this. We heard up to the storm, and that we should be focusing on our duties. God, if we only knew. But yeah, on the 4th night, Simon went on this crazy rant about how he saw something looking at him from inside one of the vents. He said it was a small pair of eyes looking down at him. We just called him crazy at the time. On the 5th night, we lost power, which meant we lost the heating and lighting. Pitch black aside from the soft gray light shining down through the office room windows during the day. Water pipes had frozen over. We had to smash open the vending machine to take whatever was left inside, which wasn't much. Then, on the 6th night, Simon had enough. The banging had persisted for too long, so he jumped from the couch and grabbed a flashlight, saying that he was going to get to the bottom of this one way or another. Obviously, nobody joined him, because nobody wanted to look crazy. He was gone for half an hour, I think. When he came back, he was just silent. He just laid down on the sofa and went back to sleep. The banging had stopped. I asked if he found what it was, but he just didn't respond. When morning came, we woke up to the smell of death. When you work on the force for as long as I have, you know the smell of death when it hits your nostrils, and what I smelled was exactly that. The Sarge suggested a rat or some other animal may have frozen to death in the vent system, that we should probably find where the smell was strongest so we could get rid of it. What happened next happened so fast. We split up in teams of 2. Me, Simon, and Brad are just investigating the garage, and Sarge and Harry and searching the office area. As soon as I just stepped in the garage, I was hit by the most disgusting, most foul-smelling odor one could imagine. It didn't take a bloodhound to tell you where the smell was coming from. Bradley found it. The ventilation grate loose off its hinges, drenched in blood. As soon as our attention was drawn to it, Simon, or whatever the hell that thing was, began to wriggle and writhe. It let out this ear-piercing screech and just shred Simon off of it. It was just this massive entanglement of wires and eyeballs. Yep, that's entered. It was horrifying. Before I could even comprehend what was happening, it was on top of Bradley, ripping into him. I just ran. I can still vividly remember his screams. I ran past Sarge and Harry, ignoring their calls to me. I suppose they went the opposite direction to help Brad. Poor guys. But yeah, even though temperatures were below zero outside, I was willing to take that chance. I popped a window, and I just tried to get as far away from that place as I could. I didn't get too far though, did I? Raymond, former Yellowstone County police deputy. So yeah, Ennard done went on a squad wipe. Oh. Oh, it is that explains it. Okay, so it is indeed cap sensitive. Date, why does it matter? Unit involved, everyone is here. Oh boy. Okay. Catch your breath, and get comfortable, everybody. The purpose of this document is to archive the reporting of a strange, anomalous geographical phenomena that has taken residence in Utah. The anomaly in question is a large bottomless hole located on the property of the late William Afton. The hole is around 15 meters in width and length. The surrounding area, which was originally noted to be a rich, lively forest, is now burnt beyond recognition. Most of the trees and plant life within the surrounding radius of the anomaly are gone, filled with dead plant life and ashes. The hole, as mentioned previously, is shown to have no bottom, and any attempts to find a bottom via drone and living personnel have failed, with no remnants to be recovered. The hole has been noted to have an appearance similar to a cave-in or a sinkhole. The hole has also been noted to have large burn marks around the edge and within the walls inside, with some looking vaguely like handprints. As for the house itself, the residence has been observed to be almost completely gone, with nothing remaining except for a few burnt boards, some old burnt furniture, and blueprints to what appears to be scrapped and failed experiments that the owner of the house intended to work on at some point. It appears that the rest of the house had either fallen into the hole upon its opening or succumbed to the flames that formed as the hole appeared. Not much is known about the strange anomaly, and many may wonder why it is in Feza at all. Hopefully the question of this anomaly's existence can be answered in due time. As for why it has been archived in Feza, read on to find out. The anomaly has been shown to have unique traits that range from odd and uncommon to bizarre and paranormal. One such trait is the constant secretion of a strange, dark, gas-like substance that can only be seen by viewing it on a remnant detection lens. Even using that makes it difficult to notice the substance. Another trait, the temperature within the surrounding areas will heat up drastically at random points, with no known pattern or reason why. Such temperatures varies, with the lowest being at 150 degrees Fahrenheit and the highest being 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. I want you to know, right? If you are near anything that ever can reach 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, you probably aren't alive. That's beside the point. Workers kept watching over the anomaly, and it is also noted to have heard screams from within the hole and an occasional feral desire to harm the closest living thing near them. Ah, yes. Casual, see the hole, wish to strangle your coworker. Alright, cool. Despite the mystery of how this anomaly came to be, we have been fortunate to have interviewed some witnesses who happened to be in the area when the anomaly first appeared, including a short recording of the anomaly's arrival. Through these interviews and the recording, we have pieced together a rough timeline of events of the anomaly's appearance, which goes as follows. 12 a.m., so midnight. A level 6 magnitude earthquake was reported to have been felt by the residents within the general area. 1 a.m., earthquake stops. A few daring locals decide to search the woods. The source, after hearing a deep, low rumble. 2 a.m., the authorities have been called to investigate the disturbance, which decide to explore the area. After eventually arriving at the Afton household, the authorities decide to stick around after a few of them noted to hear a deep rumbling sound, and a few of them have sworn to be hearing voices. The authorities began to make note of a slight cracking sound and note that the temperature was getting warmer despite being a cold night outside. 4 a.m., the cracking sound began to get louder and the temperature beginning to rise. A few of the authorities decided to leave, and one passed out due to heat stroke. The cracking sound became even louder, and witnesses began to notice that the house's foundation seemed to be shifting. The heat was becoming intolerable, so the authorities decided to leave a few cameras behind the recorder and then left. Oh, I'm so sorry to anyone watching this, because you're trying to get into the feel of this, and you just keep hearing me yawn. I don't know what's happening. 6 a.m. the ground begins to shift, and the surrounding area was detected to be experiencing another earthquake, but at a 7.3 magnitude this time. Oddly enough, the quake was detected to only be surrounding the Afton home. The ground began to open up, and the hole appeared, causing most of its house to fall into the hole. Flames began to erupt from the hole in a loud screeching sound, along with the distant chiming of a clock. That's odd detail. A giant figure begins to crawl out of the hole, the screen goes static, and the recording ends. End of event. It is to be noted that a few minutes after the recording ended, a ginormous forest fire was spotted growing around the area. The fire department was called, who was able to control and douse the flames, but not without the flames destroying most of the surrounding forest before snuffing out. Firemen on duty noted that as soon as the flames were put out, the temperature began to fall back to a normal state. Thanks to some cutting-edge technology, we were able to take the recorded footage and put a remnant detection filter on the video, allowing us to see that as soon as the hole opened up, a ginormous cloud of the unknown gas-like substance burst out of the hole before the cameras cut to static. There's a picture, but we'll get to that in a second. While strange and mysterious in every form, the reason for Fezo's notice and investigation into this anomaly is because of two factors. One, the location of the anomaly being on the former residence of William Afton, a well-known worker from Fez Entertainment's past, and two, after all the events ended and investigations began, the area was noted to be filled with broken, burnt remains of various units from multiple generations from Fazebear Entertainment's history. Oh wait, I see it. If you look here and here, it does look like handprints. But this is the quote-unquote hole that showed up at Afton's house. Oh, that does look spooky, and something crawled out of it. My first thought was going to be Afton himself, because, Afton's house, but burnt remains of many various units from multiple generations. Multiple animatronic shells were found. So this could very well be like Golden Freddy after UCN, trying to get the animatronics out. Okay. Oh, why does this feel like it's Dee Dee? Okay. I think extracted from a personal journal. I think me and Blank have struck gold here. He came to me with this fantastic idea for the next big character to introduce to the gang. Blank, I'm gonna assume that's Dee Dee, the chirpy, mischievous troublemaker. We've decided to go for a more recognizable face this time around. A human one. One that the kids can recognize and relate to. As soon as I saw the design sketches Blank drew up, I knew we hit the jackpot. Blank had come to me a couple times now complaining that his son is scared by the big bulky animal animatronics. This one will be perfect for him. Me and Blank have poured our heart and souls into it. This is FNAF, don't say that. From every ball joint to screw. Her design is adorable, and we've had our voice actor record all the lines for her debut performance tomorrow. I'm so excited to see what the customers have to say about her. Personal note, dear God, what was I thinking? Oh, so it didn't go too well. What a disaster. We created this database to log and document animatronic incidents, and this is the first thing I had to write about? Jesus Christ. Alright, to cut a long story short, Dee Dee was a total failure. We had complete confidence that she'd win over the kids' hearts, but all it did was leave 20-odd toddlers horrified and running out of the room screaming and crying. Even the parents were terrified. Oh, Jesus Christ. this is not what neither me or Blank intended audience reactions to be. Actually, maybe he did intend this. That cheeky Blank. We designed her to be a familiar face that children could recognize. All of our animatronics were large animals. It seemed that the only logical that the next step would be a human character to add to the gang. I guess our logic was flawed. Even Blank said she was scared of her, and her favorite character is just that security unit I designed deliberately to scare children into following the rules. I think it's the eyes that are off-putting. Actually, no. It's the entire face, the whole body, everything. Even her goddamn personality is just irritating. I thought it was cute at first, but looking at it now, we've created a monster. An annoying, horrifying monster. I'm burning this. Me and Blank are burning her after work today. Both of us agreed to never speak of her again. Alright. Something tells me, considering toddlers, horrified, there's going to be screaming in one of these audio logs, so I'm just going to say it now. Turn down the volume if you've got headphones in. If you've got the speakers in, maybe turn those down a little bit too. I'm going to do the same. Here we go.
Playing performance incident recording 001.
Alright kids, I have a big surprise to show you all today. We here at
Redacted.
a brand new member of the gang we want to show you. She's eager to meet you all. Please put your hands together for the mischievous trickster.
Redacted.
Hi kids,
Redacted.
I've heard that you've all been excited to meet me. Here I am.
Henry, hold the curtain. Hold the bloody curtain.
Playing performance incident recording 001.
Okay, so that didn't sound like it went too well. Let's see the aftermath. Anyway, okay, extension mode. What the fuck? Containment tank, hatch and valve. What? Okay, the valve is a star. That's a nice little detail. Oh, there's a whole nother page. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is how he looks on stage, and this is how he looks out of stage. I don't ever want to see this fucker off the stage. Okay. Heat signature, remnant signature, detection lens, tracking device, and remnant signature cloak, audio message record and receiver, audio stimuli project. That's funny. Containment tank with a hatch and valve. That's stuff here. Visual entrancement stimuli. Oh, hey. Notes. Must pre-install programmed patterns in order to properly function. Remnant flow equalizers. Automatic remnant temperature manager. Parking sensor. That's really funny. Irregulation condition stabilizers. You mean these giga-fucking-toes he's got are stabilizers? That's kind of funny. Alright. A giant mechanical entity has been spotted wandering the countryside following a recent destructive forest fire. The entity was spotted in 2026 and it was reported to the press. Fazebear Entertainment got involved, and when the entity respawn was reported to consist of multiple animatronic parts from units old and unknown, generations from Fazebear Entertainment and Afton's Robotics past, Fazebear Entertainment was able to bribe the press and witnesses to keep quiet about the entity. Okay, you know, this is a very, very far-fetched, but I think of giant mechanical monster from both Fazebear and Afton Robotics past. Is this the Blob? Is this the Blob, or is this Molten Freddy? The entity has been noted to have an interest in abandoned Fazebear Entertainment warehouses and facilities. The entity has been noted to be hostile and will attack anything, whether living or mechanical, that draws near to it. The entity is estimated to have a height of around 15 feet. Jesus. With the estimate rising with each rated warehouse, which means it's taking parts wherever it goes to build itself. Despite the entity's tremendous size, it has been known to escape observation and tracking on multiple occasions. Due to the creature's apparent knowledge of Fazebear Entertainment's tracking devices and observations, including its violent nature, the entity's intelligence is unknown. Entity has made next to no attempts to communicate. The only time doing so to threaten anything that comes near, to leave it alone. If anyone with current or past association with Fazebear Entertainment and or Afton Robotics reports sighting of a creature matching this description, please contact Mr. Emily or Fazebear HQ immediately. So, my hunch is that either Molten Freddy or the Blob have dipped. They done left. Right, the second to last. Let's go ahead and type this one in. Skip all that typing. Okay, this one's pretty short, which leads me to believe that the final one is going to be a metric fuck ton of words. Okay. There was an incident a few weeks ago involving a broke-down Chica model from the 80s. The unit involved was a Generation 2. It had heavy damage on the body, most significant being the lack of hands and dislocation of the jaw. Okay, so this is withered Chica they're talking about. The unit was deemed to be the unit was discovered in Utah at an old Freddy's location. The unit was deemed to be salvageable and brought back to location 687 for repairs. No attempts to communicate or move were made by the unit at the time of the recovery. Animatronic space functions were checked for errors. No malfunctions aside from the hands and jaw. Makes sense. One of the mechanics attempted to realign the jaw, in which when he put his hand inside, the unit proceeded to bite down on the hand without issue. The unit was deemed unstable and controlled shocks were used to paralyze the unit. The mechanic involved was placed under the hospital under the alias of Heavy Machine Error. The unit involved is to remain powered off in storage until further notice. Mechanic has recovered without incident. Note to self, make sure to send an email to the repair crews to turn off the units before making repairs. Why is that something that they have to be reminded of? Why would you not turn off a giant machine before you go to fix it in case something fucks up? Anyway. Here we go. Let's type in our last one. Throughout the course of the company's lifespan, there has been one lingering rumor, an odd entity that always seems to follow the Fazebear brand. Since 1985, exact date unknown, employees and even customers have reported seeing a phantom of sorts during business hours, with it being described as a ghastly Fredbear on multiple occasions. When we first tried dealing with this issue, we brushed it off as a hallucination from those that were clinging on to the memories of the old diner. However, since then, new evidence has made it clear that this thing is far from a simple illusion, due to the varied descriptions for the entity and seemingly random circumstances it appears in. All unique situations will be logged below. So unique, implying that these aren't all the situations that it was in. First sightings, described as a ghostly facsimile of Fredbear with some inaccuracies, such as pale yellow fur and a top hat that looked more like Generation 2 Freddy models. Not hostile, though. Those that saw it reported feeling an odd mix of nostalgia and queasiness. 1987, sightings slowly increased, now described as a broken yellow Freddy missing an ear and several chunks. So this is explaining how the world of FNAF saw Golden Freddy. Okay. Broken yellow Freddy missing an ear and several trunks of its suit. Bizarrely, some reported it seeing as a giant head, that's a reference to FNAF 2, that appeared at the end of hallways. Hostile, though only when provoked with lights. Reported to cause weakness and severe sleep deprivation when seen. Children started seeing the entity, even drawing it and showing it to staff, asking what it was. Okay, so it's definitely real, or it's just choosing what it's being shown to. 1988 to 1992, sightings stay consistent, though now spread through multiple places, specifically warehouses and storage units we own. Descriptions remain the same, though reports say it was more solid and visible than before. Contrasting prior descriptions of it being more ghost-like. It seemed to travel from location to location, being outside one of our warehouses in 1 week and in a completely different one from the next. Employees reported Employees reported sleep deprivation and violent thoughts after encountering the being. Sightings stopped after it was spotted near the Generation 4 models of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. It reportedly sat down next to the models, making strange, incoherent noises that were picked up by the CCTV recordings. The employee on night watch stated that when they saw it, they inexplicably felt that the being was happy and vanished supposedly vanished shortly after. Sightings 4. 1993, sightings resumed with worrying frequencies as new locations opened. Many customers and employees reported seeing it, now taking a form described as a carbon copy of the Gen 4 Freddy model but with yellow fur. It also appeared to be fully solid, as if taking a more definitive shape. Those that encountered it experienced fatigue, extreme sleep deprivation, uncharacteristic desires to hurt people, and rabid paranoia. Any and all drawings the children made of the creature were immediately taken down. Even when not seen, various night shift employees reported feeling it nearby, matching up with CCTV cameras picking up noises similar to the ones it made during its travels from warehouse to warehouse. Oh god, that's like what, a third, maybe fourth time I've yawned today? I'm so sorry. Said noises were heard in recordings that captured the death of Guy Blank, suggesting possible involvement. 1993 to 2023, sightings halt after one employee reported seeing the entity near the location of the safe room. No one's actually been in it since, though others reported still feeling its presence when in the location. 2026, sightings finally resumed. Customers of the Fazebear Worldwide Initiative reported seeing phantoms and visions when renting out certain animatronics. With customers' descriptions taken into account, it seems that this entity has changed yet again. Others described it as a tall and deformed abomination with stretched out blackened limbs and a thin contorted body and sporting a wretched grin. Wretched grin. These descriptions match no mere yellow Freddy. These descriptions match no animatronic units in our database. So we assume that the entity has chosen to become something beyond a mere yellow Freddy. Those that reported the sightings have also said their animatronics started malfunctioning, going haywire before shutting down. Oddly, the side effect of seeing the entity is seen to almost completely change, as customers reported feeling a lingering depression rather than the usual violent thoughts and sleepless nights. Despite the entity's seemingly to grown weaker, it still represents a serious danger to everyone around it. We're worried that the entity will manage to find our newest establishment. 1 second. Alright, my bad. Newest establishment. Unlike some phenomenon we've had to put up with, this one is scarily persistent, outright stalking the company, making itself visible to anyone, no matter their mental condition and age. At first, right, I thought this was Golden Freddy, because yellow bear, but this one, right here. Tall, deformed abomination, stretched out blackened limbs, thin contorted body, wide grin. Nightmare Own. But then when did Golden Freddy ever have a connection to Nightmare Own aside from like being two souls, you know? Anyway, I have let this video drag on for long enough. That is okay. My heart just dropped to my ass. Alright, no, cool. That wasn't me. That wasn't me, by the way. I'm gonna say it one more time for the fellas in the back. No, that wasn't me. Anyway, as soon as I find out where I put my balls after that incident. Okay. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you want to see more of this, do be sure to let me know. More of this. If you want to see the game that came out after this, a quote-unquote only finished version that I found anyway, go ahead and let me know. But until next we meet, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.